My name's Davina Shensky, and you're listening to Live Without Limits, Reach Personal Success on a Daily Basis. Our purpose is to help you live the best quality of life possible within your abilities. We talk about personal growth, we talk about mindfulness, we talk about psychology, and anything that affects you mentally. So, today's presentation is titled Five Strategies to Overcome the Imposter Syndrome and Coping with Feeling Like a Fraud. Who you are and how you see yourself when you look in the mirror is who you believe you are. And there are times that you're going to feel that you don't deserve what you get, and that's the imposter syndrome. Have you ever felt like you're an imposter, that you're not quite worthy of your success? Imposter syndrome is a common phenomenon that affects many people in different walks of life. It is characterized by feelings of inadequacy and self doubt despite having achieved success. This can lead to anxiety, depression, and a general feeling of being a fraud. Imposter syndrome is particularly common among high achievers or those who have been successful in their field but still feel like they don't belong or are not good enough. Despite the success they have achieved, they may think that it was due to luck rather than merit. I admit that I felt this way plenty of times in my career as a writer. While it may seem like an insurmountable challenge, there are various strategies that can help overcome imposter syndrome and build confidence in oneself. In this show, we will discuss the causes of imposter syndrome and provide tips on how to address it. We will also look at ways to cope with feelings of fraudulence that come up during times of stress and adversity. But understanding why these thoughts arise, you can take steps to move past them and live with greater confidence. Cause of imposter syndrome. The causes of imposter syndrome can vary from person to person. Common contributing factors include negative self talk, perfectionism, comparing oneself to others. Other triggers can include pressure from external sources, such as peers or parents, and feelings of inadequacy or insecurity within oneself. It is important to recognize these feelings and take steps to address them in order to overcome imposter syndrome and build your self confidence. Three strategies for overcoming imposter syndrome: achieving, reframing unhelpful thoughts. The first step in managing imposter syndrome is recognizing the source of these negative beliefs. This involves identifying unhelpful thoughts and reframing them in a more positive light. For example, instead of saying, I am not good enough, you can say, I have worked hard to get where I am, and I can continue to grow from here. This type of self talk can help to challenge irrational beliefs and doubt that arise from imposter syndrome. Setting realistic goals and celebrating accomplishments. This is also important to set realistic goals and recognize progress. This can help to boost confidence and remind yourself of the hard work already put in instead of striving for perfection. Focus on making incremental progress toward a goal. Additionally, celebrate small successes along the way, whether it's reaching a milestone or completing a task. Recognizing these moments of achievement will help to build self confidence. Practicing self compassion and mindfulness. Lastly, practicing self compassion and mindfulness can be beneficial in fostering self acceptance. Taking time to acknowledge your own feelings without judgment or criticism can be very empowering. Focusing on these can help to create a sense of calmness. Breathwork, relaxation exercises, positive affirmations, mindfulness activities such as journaling or meditation can also be beneficial in reducing stress levels and helping to manage imposter syndrome, coping with feelings of fraudulence and adversity. When facing difficult times or adversity, remember that everyone experiences moments of doubt or insecurity. It is quite natural to feel overwhelmed and uncertain at times. One way to cope with these feelings is by looking for evidence to challenge any irrational beliefs. This involves reflecting on successes and achieved in the past or acknowledging skills and talents that you possess that can be used during challenging situations. During or doing this can help to build self confidence and reduce feelings of fraudulence. It can also be helpful to reach out to support from others when struggling with imposter syndrome. Connecting with those resources can be beneficial to gaining perspective and understanding that those feelings are normal. A mentor, counselor, friend, family member talking about how you feel. Practice self care during these moments of crisis, taking breaks from work or other activities, engaging in leisure activities, and getting enough restful sleep can help to reduce stress levels and aid with feeling more balanced emotionally, building self confidence through positive reflection. Developing self confidence is essential for overcoming feelings of imposter syndrome. One way to do this is through positive reflection, focusing on the strengths and skills that one has rather than fixating on any perceived weaknesses or flaws. It is also important to recognize accomplishments made in the past and identify areas where progress has been made. Acknowledging successes, even seemingly minor ones, can help to boost self esteem and reduce feelings of fraudulence. It can also be helpful to write down positive affirmations or mantras that express worth, and potential on a regular basis. During or doing this can provide reassurance in moments of doubt or uncertainty, embracing vulnerability as a strength. Though imposter syndrome can be difficult to manage, it is important to remember that feelings of vulnerability are not a sign of weakness. In fact, being able to openly express emotion and be vulnerable can actually make someone stronger in the face of adversity. It is okay to make mistakes, to set things wrong. Everyone does at some point. And learning from these experiences is part of growth and development. Instead of attempting to mask or ignore one's emotions, it is important to embrace them as a source of strength. Working through imposter syndrome requires self compassion and an openness to acknowledging one's vulnerabilities. This may lead to a greater confidence in oneself and improved mental health. Some resources for those experiencing imposter syndrome. For those looking for additional resources on how to deal with the imposter syndrome, there are a variety of outlets available. You can read books and articles that provide guidance on challenging negative thoughts that can be helpful in understanding the source of these feelings. Some useful titles include Feeling Like a Fraud, You're Not Alone, and How to Overcome Imposter Syndrome. Overall, imposter syndrome is a unique challenge that requires individualized strategies for managing it. By recognizing the signs and creating an action plan for addressing those issues and seeking professional help if needed, that you can learn how to manage your feelings of fraudulence and gain greater confidence in yourself. And the last thing that I'm going to say about this is often when we are constantly bombarded by negativity around us, we buy into that negativity. So it's understanding where that negativity comes from and how you can deal with it and turn it around and get rid of it. We talk about that in the laws of attraction and psychology. So understanding the imposter syndrome and why you feel that way is the first step to helping and getting ready to overcome it.